Anthony Hartwig here with a Mineral Ridge softball player profile. We're joined by another senior, Sydney Wyllie. Sydney, thank you so much for coming on, talking to us today.
Thanks for having me.
I want to start with senior season. It always brings up emotions and all the things you have to deal with. The last of everything, last practices, last game versus this team, all that stuff. What's it been like so far preparing for the senior season and kind of trying to deal with those emotions?
It's been really special, especially being as I've had these coaches since I was really little. And today was actually our first day on our home field, actually on the dirt. And it's just crazy to imagine that it's going to be almost over. But it's just super awesome to be out there with my teammates, even if it is for the last season.
Now, are you letting it sink in that it's your senior season, or do you kind of let that go until the end of the year? Or are you trying to make it feel like just another season?
I mean, it definitely feels a little different. I'm definitely taking more of a leadership role, but I feel like it hasn't fully set in yet. It definitely will closer to senior night in our first game, first scrimmage coming up this week. But I'm really excited, looking towards the future. So I'm also still keeping it in the back of my mind.
With only one senior on the team last year, you and your fellow juniors were still asked to be pretty dominant leaders of this team. What's the kind of step up in leadership like this year? Do you think you're an even better leader than you were last year, or do you think it's kind of the same thing that you were building on last year as a junior?
Yeah, definitely a little different than this year because we have a whole group. Because we have Lily and Maggie in our infield, me and Megan in the outfield, and now we have Skylar in the mix too, doing both. And it's just really interesting that we can all collaborate. So even though last year there was only one senior, it was still six of us and we were still juniors. To where now we're definitely taking a larger role, and me especially I like to get the underclassmen involved a lot more than I did last year, and it's just super awesome.
What's it like to have so many leaders with you that make you not have to carry the weight of leadership on your shoulders all the time?
Yeah, a lot of times, softball, it's a sport that has a lot of failure that comes with it. And just having that group of senior leaders that and a lot of us have played together since we were in T ball, it's just super nice to have those other girls who are like my best friends just to be able to pick me up when sometimes when you're the only leader it feels like if you do bad you're going to let down the whole team, so just having that close inner circle of leaders is super nice.
How would you describe your leadership responsibilities? Like, what kind of leader do you think you are?
I think that I'm a very uplifting leader. I like to be inspirational, but I know that softball, we're not always going to be perfect, and me especially in the outfield, you can't catch every ball. So I like to specifically pick girls up when they make a mistake because you can't be perfect 100% of the time. And especially in softball, we have a lot of freshmen coming up, so they might not know all the drills. So just letting them know that minor mistakes are going to happen and it's going to take time to learn.
I've seen you play outfield. We know that you're going to catch a lot more than you don't. Talk about that outfield mentality. How do you save games? I don't want anyone to say anything other than that. So, what's it like to kind of be out there and be on patrol? And what kind of mentality do you take into the outfield?
I love to. I always strive to be quick, be assertive, and you never know which way the ball is gonna go. You got a lot of ground to cover out there, but just always being one step ahead and being ready immediately, and always making sure that you have your eyes on the ball. It takes a lot of communication out there too. It takes a lot of loud energy because you're a lot farther away. So just making sure that you can get there as fast as you can and already having in your mind where you have to throw the ball before you even throw it.
You talk about communication. You have your entire outfield back from last year. How much of a relief is that to know that you don't have to work on communication? You know exactly how to communicate with these girls that have been with you for a long time.
Yeah, it's great because these girls, we're all upperclassmen now, so we've been together for a really long time. And like you said, it's a repeat outfield from last year. But not only is it communication that we're used to, it's that we really trust each other and we know each other's capabilities. So I know that if there's a ball that's close to Maddie or close to Megan, I know that they're going to get there and I'm ready to back them up.
I want to talk mindset the plate as well. You know, you're a great hitter. You hit for average a lot. You're probably going to have one of the better averages on the team if things keep going the way they were last year. What's your mentality at the plate? What are some things that you try to stay locked into?
Yeah, so as a slapper, Coach Joe and Coach Will have always kind of let me go my own way, whether that's hitting a gap shot, hitting a line drive, bunting the ball. So when I almost get into that box, I take a breather and I like to look around the field and notice where the gaps are because ultimately as a slapper, that's where you want to go. You want to hit the gaps. So I work a lot in the off season to make sure that I'm able to hit all those different shots and really getting my mind in the game, not just wanting to hit the ball hard, but making sure that I hit the ball in a good spot that can advance me and my teammates.
I think people outside the sport don't take enough looks at how the art of slapping, right? So I'm sure you've worked on slapping for a long time. Talk about how much you've kind of grown as a slapper and what you love the most about having that role and being able to utilize, like you said, a lot of different things, whether what the situation might present itself.
Yeah, so I have been a natural lefty my whole life. And even when I was little, I was probably about 10 years old, and my dad took me out into the field next to our yard and he said, "Okay, we're going to learn slapping." And I learned everything on YouTube. So I've had that role for a really long time. And just every year, I try to add new shots to my game. And it's just super awesome, especially last year taking Megan in and teaching her how to slap because it's a really mental game. You can't just go up and think, okay, I'm going to make contact. You have to know in advance where you're going to hit it, where you want to hit it, and how. And it takes a lot of thought and a lot of practice. And it's just super awesome that I got to start that early and that I got to transfer it into multiple other players by the end of the season.
Are there any slappers that you watched growing up that you liked that you got you into it, or like who did you watch on YouTube? Who did you learn from? Who were some of the people that got you into this art?
I honestly couldn't tell you any specific names. I watched a lot of college softball growing up, a lot of Oklahoma, a lot of Northwestern, but no names specifically, and just multiple YouTube sources, just about anything we could find.
There's too many names out there, which is great,
Yeah.
which is always a great thing. I want to talk about some things off the field a little bit. Practice mentality this preseason. What's it like to for you guys to work all these last couple of weeks getting ready for the season, the anticipation you just wanted here. What's the preseason been like for you?
The preseason started really early, all the way back in December. And for the first couple months, it was strength and making sure that we were getting our bodies, specifically our shoulders, ready for the season to prevent any injuries. And now that we're in the gym, it's really just making sure that we can work on our throwing, work on our catching, and get that trust built, get that communication built, especially, and just getting comfortable with each other and having a lot of fun because hopefully by the time that we get out there on Thursday for our first scrimmage, a lot of our people are returning, but even still, like just that practice mentality of the mistakes are going to happen, but just trying to get the consistency both on the physical level and the mental level.
What's your favorite time in practice? What like drills? Is it team scrimmages? What's the favorite part of practice for you? Don't say the end.
I love inter squad scrimmages. We actually have one today, and I'm a big fan of base running. I know a lot of people don't like to go run laps around the field, but I'm a big advocate. I like to get big leads, steal those bases, and have a lot of fun. And of course, outfield drills because you know me, I love to go catch a fly ball. So any chance I can get out there on that green and just go catch just about anything I can, it's super fun.
Shocker, the slapper likes the base run.
Yeah.
Shocker, shocker there. When you think about you talked about the underclassmen a little bit earlier in this interview and trying to build them up. Who are some girls that you think you've taken under your wing this year, or maybe even last year, that you're really excited to see what they bring to the table this year and in the years to follow after you graduate?
Yeah, this year we added a new slapper, Gianna. She Fisher. She's gonna be in our slapping rotation hopefully, and it's just super awesome because she got some work in the winter, and me and Megan have really been taking her in and seeing her get these reps. She had a great hit today at practice, and it was just really impressive to see because I watched it with Megan last year, and just to watch it all over again, specifically with an underclassman. I'm just so excited to see what she does once she becomes an upperclassman.
I also want to talk about while we're talking about people that you take under your wing, who took you under their wing when you were younger? Who were some people that taught you how to be a good leader when you were growing up, whether it be before you got into high school or when you were an underclassman yourself?
Yeah, definitely. So, back in my freshman year, I started varsity, which I totally did not expect to happen. But I caught with a senior. She was my throwing partner my freshman year, Maddie Gerberry's sister, Megan Gerberry. And she was one of those silent leaders. And I that because I feel like I'm definitely an intellectual mentor leader as well. And then Aaliyah Whitaker, too. I really her because we just had super big hitters and great leaders. And then even Aaliyah last year, she just always wanted to go have fun in practice, and that's just something I look up.
Let's talk about goals after high school. What are some things that are on the horizon for you that you see as things you want to accomplish?
Yeah, so definitely graduation's coming up. We just counted. We have 150 days left of school, which is crazy. I'm still undecided on college. I'm either going to Cincinnati or Ohio State, and I don't plan on playing any sports, but I'm going to go major in architecture. So I'm definitely going to use a lot of the leadership that I learned in softball and a lot of the fun times that I had and translate that into my work life. And it's super exciting to see.
What led you to wanting to go down that major and that career path?
Outside of sports, I'm definitely a artistic person, and I'm a very uh, academically driven kid. So I grew up with a lot of STEM and a lot of drawing, and I've just been really into that kind of stuff. And I don't know, just sounded cool.
What's your favorite form of art? There's a lot of different art out there: painting, charcoal, drawing. What's your favorite kind of art?
I'm actually in drawing right now for the second year in a row, so that's definitely my favorite. I do a lot of like realistic stuff, and occasionally step out of the box. I like to paint too. I grew up painting, so really anything.
Do you have like a favorite piece that you've made in your art career?
I don't. I'm working on one right now. It's a self portrait. I like it a decent amount. Did one last year too. That was in an art show for Trumbull County. But I mean, I wouldn't say that there's one in particular.
Is there something that like you like drawing more than other? Like some people like to draw people, some people like to draw landscapes. Is there something that you think is like right in your wheelhouse that you like to draw or use as subjects?
I'm really big on like birds. I know it's a little random. I like to draw birds and animals and people. So definitely the more realistic route.
Okay, so we'll go off of that. You like animals. What's your like if you could have anything as a pet, right? It didn't
Right.
matter about taming it or how wild or feral it might be. What would be the animal of your choice?
Okay, really random. My favorite animal is an otter. And
Yes.
you can actually have them in Ohio. It's legal. So I
Yes,
really thought about it. Yeah, I really
she's
want.
done the research, everybody.
I have. I have.
Do you know that you can swim with otters in Florida? There's an otter
Yeah,
sanctuary,
they
and you can
have
swim
one
with
near
otters.
Akron. I actually went.
Well, there you go. You don't even have
Yeah,
to go to Florida. I didn't know there was one close.
yeah.
How is that?
It was sweet. It was awesome. They were so
Um,
cool. I've never seen one in real life other than that time. It was super cool.
oh man, that's hilarious. I love it. One of the things I also want to talk about off the field stuff. I know I've seen Middle Ridge. I've been to your softball games. This team comes to the field jamming. Like you have the boombox going. There's some serious playlists. What's your music of choice? What's your playlist look like?
I mean, I'd say I listen to just about everything. A lot of hip hop, a lot of rap, a lot of pop. I dabble in country music. It's pretty good. So I mean, I wouldn't say that it's one thing in particular. I listen to just about everything.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. I want
Yep.
one song that has to be on that playlist before a
Oh,
game, and one song that you would never let on the playlist. If someone tries to put it on, it's not getting on there.
oh man.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think. I grew up having a big crush on Justin Bieber.
Okay.
So anything Justin Bieber, it definitely has to
Is it
be on the
green light?
playlist.
Okay.
Yep. And then what would I not let on there? I don't like Eminem. I
Okay.
don't. I wouldn't let Eminem on the playlist.
All right. So, do you have a favorite Bieber song, or is it just anything by him at all?
Pretty much anything. Baby's good. Somebody to love is good.
It's like a little bit
And
old school, right? A
the
little bit
old
old
ones,
school.
yeah, not the new ones.
Right. Okay. Bring back that nostalgia, right?
Hmm.
All right, Cindy, we're gonna end this player profile the same way we end every single one of them. I want to give you the chance to thank your support system. Shout out the people in your life that have been there for you, that kind of get you along the journey. I want to give you the chance to give out thank yous and shout outs to the people in your life that you think really deserve it.
Yeah. All right. I mean, definitely thank you to my coaches and teammates, especially my coaches being around as long as they have. They got me started from the jump when I was 5 years old, and even my teammates have had a lot of them since I was in elementary school, and they've just been a great support system for me, and I love the sport. And my dad was also a huge motivation for me in the sport. He always got me going. He was my scorekeeper back when I was in rec ball when I was little, and he was just always right next to the dugout and telling me how to improve my game and how to get going. My little sister, she's always out in the outfield cheering for me. Even when I do bad, she's always out there cheering. And my mom too, my grandpa. And then just my close circle, my boyfriend, my friends, my friend group, my family, they just always are looking forward to what I'm going to do next, and they're always supporting me when I do something well and even when I don't succeed.
All right, Cindy, we want to thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck the rest of this season. We'll be out there covering as many of your games as we can, and we look
Yep.
forward to talking again real soon.
All right, thank you.